Thanks everybody for coming today. I'm Colonel Matt Langer, Chief of the State Patrol, and I appreciate your interest in coming to talk today about distracted driving and what the State Patrol is going to do about it. Distracted driving, primarily texting while driving, is something that the public is harping on us to do something about, and with good reason. And to be honest, as state troopers, we're as tired of distracted drivers as the public is. We see time and time again the challenge created by people not paying attention behind the wheel. And just a couple of examples within the last few months to reiterate why we're doing what we're doing. On July 21st, we investigated a fatal crash where a 17-year-old driver on Facebook ran a red light, killing a father and his 10-year-old daughter. And on October 15th, we investigated a fatal pedestrian crash where an 85-year-old man was killed while crossing Highway 282, and we believe distractions have played a role in that crash. And of course, those being just two tragic examples, we see examples of distracted driving being a factor in crashes on an absolute daily basis within the state of Minnesota. So today we stand here and say that we're doing something about it. Of course, troopers are always working to enforce our laws, and we work every day to enforce the distracted driving laws. But as you can see behind me, we're adding to our fleet of unmarked vehicles to use that tool specifically toward dealing with distracted drivers. All of our troopers have squad cars and they all deal with distracted driving, but having an unmarked car allows us a better opportunity to really see what's going on behind the wheel and to make sure that people are paying attention. And of course, if they aren't, it allows troopers to take action on the violations that they see. So these cars that you see behind me are going to Mankato, Marshall, the metropolitan districts, and our Brainerd districts. And of course, we have other unmarked cars that are already out there today. So we just want the public to know that we take this seriously. We want drivers to pay attention. We'd prefer that they pay attention rather than us have to take enforcement action. I want to make sure I got all the points across. Really, this is about education and prevention. So these are unmarked vehicles, and admittedly, it allows us to be a little bit more sneaky as the troopers are on patrol. But on the other hand, we're having a press conference today to tell the public that we're out there, to look for drivers who are distracted, and we encourage everybody to just so simply pay attention when you're driving. Any questions that I can answer?
Why did you choose those 5 specific areas?
Good question, why we choose those 5 specific areas. We have unmarked vehicles in all 11 of our districts, but as we migrate a few more unmarked vehicles into our fleet, those districts were just ready to see those vehicles come in, and they're districts where we have troopers and the public who are actively engaged in distracted driving efforts.
It's not like there were accidents?
No, it wouldn't be fair to say that there's more distracted driving crashes in those areas than anywhere else.
The troopers that will be using these, are these then troopers that will be typically working that shift, or these been assigned to this for a shift, or how does that work for using it?
These troopers were previously assigned fully marked squad cars like the other ones you see in the parking lot, but with this round of vehicles being issued, they're issued these unmarked vehicles as their primary vehicle to use for the duration of that car's life.
So this will be their car for the regular working shift?
Correct.
So in terms of specifically tasking this, I mean, they're not out there specifically tasked then just with distracted driving. This is their normal duty vehicle, but the purpose of that is so you can kind of
Yep, kind of I was trying to repeat the question for anybody live streaming, but these vehicles are assigned to these troopers, so when they come on for duty, when they work a shift, they'll be doing everything expected of a state trooper, but they'll have the additional benefit of being able to target distracted drivers as a result of this tool working well for that purpose.
So we're not adding extra officers, we're just giving them different tools.
Yeah, I should be very clear, are we adding troopers? No, these are existing troopers, and these cars are replacing end-of-life cars. So we're not adding vehicles to our fleet, and we're not adding troopers today. What we're doing is we're helping troopers be more successful at finding distracted drivers by giving them a tool that'll be highly effective.
Do they find even when they're driving their marked squads, they easily come across people who are distracted driving tasks?
Without a doubt. I mean, troopers, just like the public, we see everything on the roads. And when we talk about distracted driving, we oftentimes focus on texting, which of course is dangerous, but it also includes eating, it includes kids, it includes fumbling with GPS or navigation systems. It includes anything that diverts your attention away from driving.
Why do you think this is going to have an impact? Because people know that they're not supposed to text and drive. They know they need to stay with the system.
Good question. So why do we think this will have an impact? Well, the deterrent effect only works if people think they're going to get caught. So of course, a lot of people are texting while driving. We see that. The public sees that and tells us about it frequently. But we hope with the addition of some unmarked vehicles that the public is less sure of when they can get away with it. And if they don't think they can get away with it, we hope that they pause and consider the ramifications and put their phone down and pay attention.
Are we expecting to maybe see more in the future? Because 5 doesn't seem like a very big number to me.
It's not. And again, what we're doing is just 5 are coming out today. We already have unmarked vehicles in our fleet. But I think it's fair to say that we'll continue purchasing unmarked vehicles as replacement vehicles to our fleet so that we can continue doing the best job we can at combating really what is probably the most frequent dangerous behavior we see right now, which is distracted driving.
You say that this is a growing problem over the last few years. Is there any way within the context of numbers? How much can you say that it's gotten worse year to year, for example?
The question is about context and whether it's gotten worse. Distracted driving has been around forever. It's been around as long as we've been in cars. People have not paid attention. But I think with the incredible uptake with smartphones and the different technologies that sometimes go into vehicles to make them better and safer can also be more alluring for distraction. So I think that it certainly has gotten worse. To try to quantify that is really difficult. But in my opinion, if you talk to anybody who drives on our roads, they will tell you how frustrating it is to see the level of distraction that occurs every day on our roads. Yeah, question is about other states. Unmarked vehicles are nothing new to law enforcement and nothing new to state agencies. So I think what you see here is a pretty common practice across the country, again, as a specific tool to go after specific violations.
What were the conversations, troopers, about why this was maybe a viable solution to tackle distracted driving as opposed to maybe doing other enforcement or things?
Yep, it's a good question about why this instead of other things. This is one piece of the puzzle for us as we tackle distracted driving. Frankly, we work hard at education because that's our belief that we won't be successful just through enforcement. We want people to understand and really truly get why distracted driving is dangerous, why it's a problem, and how you can prevent yourself from becoming distracted. So we work really hard at education. And then we work really hard at enforcement too, and we think that the combination of those two things, along with hopefully some technological advances in the future, will help us be even better than we are today at combating distracted driving.
I know you mentioned it earlier when we were talking. What would you say the purpose of this tool? There's another sneaky tool, I guess. I know you mentioned it.
Yeah, well, they're unmarked, so they're meant to be sneaky. We don't want people to necessarily see them, and that's why they're effective toward distracted driving. But for those drivers that pay attention and wear their seatbelt, drive the speed limit, drive sober, they don't have anything to worry about with these unmarked vehicles. These vehicles are out here to get motorists that aren't paying attention and are disobeying our laws and creating dangerous conditions on the roads. Any other questions?
Well, I guess one other point of context. Can you say, in terms of the number of citations that you guys write for distracted driving, is that increasing?
Yeah, I think the number of distracted driving citations, you'll see it in the availability of the release that went out. We're seeing it go up considerably. And I think that's a testament to what we see on the road, particularly with texting while driving, which is illegal in Minnesota. And there's an enhanced offense for a second violation, which is a relatively new law. But I mean, Minnesotans, I think, are serious. I think we've all seen this. The legislature has been serious about texting while driving, and the State Patrol is serious as well.
Do you find that people are quick to admit that they were doing it? If you pull over, if you pull them over now and see a violation, you see it, they're quick to admit that?
Sometimes the question is whether people are quick to admit that they've been texting while driving. Sometimes yes, and sometimes no. It's the best way that I can answer that. There are certain cases where people just fess up right away and take what's coming, and then other people try to avoid by giving excuses or giving things that oftentimes the troopers have evidence wasn't occurring behind the wheel.